number 1 of this best of 3. We start to the upper right hand side of the map with our Blue Protoss player in the semi-finals of today's GO4SC2. This is DnS. He's going up against the red Terran player to the bottom left hand side. This, my friends, is of course souL. Alright, game 1 of the series, and we're kicking this off and looking to see how things are going to go. Thank you so much for joining me today for today's GO4SC2 action. Great to have so many of you with us despite WCS Challenger starting up and all the rest of it. It's just a busy week in general for StarCraft. It's a busy month. We're talking about Home Story Cup in 10 days' time. We're talking about Valencia in a few weeks' time as well. After Home Story Cup is just a couple weeks away. It's really, really crazy. How much is going on and how much is going to be happening, as we said, on up into game number 1 of this best of 3. And we look to see how things will get going. Second gas coming up. Rax is proxied here to begin the game from souL. And it's double gas, so this is really looking to be quite aggressive from him in these early stages. He showed us yesterday against Showtime a couple of funky TVP builds in the WCS Challenge. If you didn't see that, it was an intriguing series to say the least. And as we do see this Reaper on its way out, and all eyes on where the factory gets built. Does the factory get built at home? Does the factory get built across the map? And generally, factories should come down at home because it will help you to defend oracles and anything that comes across the map aggressively when you get that cyclone out. Bunkers up on the natural, as you will see the Zealot on the way because DnS saw no barracks. He did start a Cybernex core as well. Later expansion for him. There's the first Reaper about to pop, and there is indeed the factory at home. So starting to get this set up and going is DnS. And he's going to see the factory is on the way here as well. So just wants to make sure of that. Doesn't want to, wants to know the factory isn't proxied as well, which could of course be a little bit of a disaster. Right now it really is just a single Reaper proxy, which kills one probe already. Goes into the grenade and looking for probe number 2. Takes a shot off the Reaper to be able to get off the Zealot to be able to get to this side. That one probe is very low, and I don't think he can actually go towards it. He'll jump to the bunker for defense at the moment. Heal up for a moment or two. This actually works out quite well for him as DnS didn't actually see the bunker, but I guess he assumes the Reaper's just down there, so it's actually a little bit unfortunate they didn't kind of actually properly see it. Does target down that lower health probe, and he will get that kill. And he is going to look for a little bit more right now. He needs to not take a second shot. He's going to be in range for the third shot, and the Reaper is dead. So Reaper goes down. souL begins to expand at home. His starport on the way up beyond a factory with a reactor. He's going to have the gas if he really wants to go into double cyclone here and then a medevac afterwards. So I kind of feel like that might be one of the better options for him. I kind of feel like that might be one of the ways in which he really gets a lot done. Cyclones, microed and a medevac. A lot can happen in that sort of scenario. So Nexus is on the way up, and we do see the command center and the natural is coming through as well. Starport is about to finish here, and we will see a Viking currently on the way out as a tech lab comes down on the barracks. So tech lab on the barracks, and we will be seeing these couple of Widow lines going to be popping out here as well. Another barracks on the way down. Stimpack started, and well, again, just the Widow mines for the moment, and a Viking too. So it really is like an ultra defensive setup here. As the Oracle is looking for a way in, avoids the first Widow mine here, looking for an SCV kill. Will get this one low and a kill. And as the Viking, here's another Widow mine, and he will get a second worker kill in the end. So 2 SCVs going down. As DnS will continue off and away towards the upper right. Robo facility is dropping in the main base. A Phoenix is on the way out. A couple of probes are coming through from DnS as well. And a barracks from souL currently dropping down in the main base. Again, this Oracle is just trying to see what's going on. Trying to come in towards the natural here, but there's a Widow mine behind the refinery. Just so many Widow mines all over the place. The fact he's been reacting them for a while. He's going to gather a few of them together, and he is going to get them in a medevac to drop across the map. So looking to apply some pressure now, souL, rather than just sitting back defensively against the Oracle. Let's see if he can get much done with this, as we do have. Obviously, the Oracle has to back away. The medevac might be seen, though. This Oracle is on direct course to run into it here, so the medevac doesn't boost in time. Will indeed be identified by that Oracle. And he has to turn around and relocate a little bit. Another Phoenix on the way up right now. Engineering Bay coming down in the natural expansion as well. So that's about to finish up here. Refinery will go down. We do just see this supply depot is also still just moving along at the moment. And the supply depot as well on its way up at the moment. Wooden Mines will start a burrow here. Actually going to be able to get quite a bit of damage done. Probes taking some heavy hits. Oh my god, the probes are stacked up still. DnS! No! That's pretty much game. That's not pretty. 22 workers going down. That's not good at all. And I mean, when he's playing a Phoenix and into fast Colossus composition, it just slows down his production so much to the point where this bio follow-up is straight up going to be difficult to deal with because there's just going to be so much kind of ferocity in it. And of course, DnS is going to be struggling to build anything after losing 22 workers. Those Widow Mines, I mean, the first clump of probes was bad enough, but then these probes up here just sat around and they went down as well. Everything just went wrong right there, as we will be seeing those few Phoenix. And they're coming back around the top side and just thinking about where exactly they might want to try and commit into. Barracks, another one on the way up at the moment, so this is Triple Racks Factory and the Starport on the way through. Medevacs will come over to the left-hand side here and head up the left side to see what they might want to try and achieve. As we see another couple of Widow Mines, some souL going to be popping out any moment now. Extended Thermal Lance coming down. And the Colossus finishing up in the main base very shortly as well. Sentry warping in. The pylon will drop. And you see Phoenix again heading in towards the main base. Going to find themselves a Viking. And the Viking will go down. So Viking falls pretty quickly here. As you are going to see the Widow Mine burrows, another SCV picked up, a few Marines stem forwards in towards those Phoenix. There's two Medevacs loading up. Is that the first two Medevacs? There's more on the map, right? Yeah, there they are. I couldn't quite find them for a moment on the mini-map. But we did see these guys heading out, so they're heading in towards the main base. Oracle is just not quite going to be in position to see them. As the next drop comes along as well, Phoenix have already delayed the third CC from building, as well as the fourth racks now maybe, as the Marines get picked off. But the Phoenix out of position to deal with this drop in towards the natural, and already probes going down, being pulled away. This natural expansion just taking some hits right here. Maybe even wants to try and target down that pylon on the back side. Just a single Colossus here at the moment. Second Colossus isn't ready yet. The Phoenix are actually going to recall home, which means that these Medevacs have to boost out of there and be very careful about what they do right now. Phoenix could just lift up those Marines. These next two Medevacs have taken a long time to come across the map because it is a very large map here, especially if you're crawling around the edges of the map to try and avoid vision of the Protoss and avoid him from getting a heads up as to where you should send his Phoenix to kill all your Medevacs. All Prism on the way out of the main base right now, as you will be seeing two Medevacs boosting in towards the back of the main, and they are going to start looking for some damage right here. Some probes going to start dropping at the moment, so a few workers going down, a couple Widow Mines spurred away at the moment. You can see another couple probes going down. Pylon will take some hits, won't empower the robo though, but still, you know, it's still an annoyance. These Phoenix just continuing to just deny the access back into the main of that drop. Widow Mine goes off on both a Stalker and a Zealot. They're killing the Simulator. There's just so much mining time being denied here in DnS. We said it earlier, you know, those first SCVs that went down, or the first probes that went down, there's just too many of them that actually went down. Because of that, it really, really hurts them continuing on. DnS has no upgrades now, and souL just continues to mass up an army that just keeps on doing so much here. And whatever DnS seems to do, he just can't seem to even find Medevacs to kill. He's finally going to get these Phoenix to kill these Medevacs over here, but god, it took a hell of a long time. You see those units cleaned up, and DnS, it looks like he's just going to commit across the map. And honestly, can you blame him at this stage of the game? I don't really think so. I think, you know, attacking across the map is probably the best thing he can go for, because he definitely isn't in a strong position. He definitely isn't in a sort of position that's really going to be able to develop in a, you know, a good way for him. So just getting out of this right now is definitely going to work out better, as we see Stalkers, Sentries, and Phoenix all gathering up together. Prism will get into warp-in mode, and we'll see maybe a couple of warp-ins starting to come through. Factory will land at the front. A lot of bio units right now. No real answer to the Colossus. There is Phoenix and the force fields available as well. I love that souL just puts a planting fortress on his third base, by the way. That's not normal, but it's just done because he knows how far ahead he is, and he knows that some sort of counter-attack all in might just have to be held for him. So by doing that, I mean, for example, kills 2 Adepts and he hasn't even taken any real damage just yet. Now the Vikings get a chance to target down the Colossus. First Colossus is pulling back. The Sentries do get some good force fields off, but DnS knows it won't be enough. GG, and souL goes through 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Don't know why I can't count. Don't know why I say the wrong numbers sometimes. Numbers really just are my weakness. Guys, to the bottom, top left-hand side, our red Terran player. This, from OSC Elite, is souL. He's going up against the blue Prowlers player from Cascade. In the bottom right corner, it's DnS. Again, how is everybody doing out in the chat? Let me know what is up. Let me know what's going on. I know a lot of people right now probably have this open in a second window because of WCS. But if you are listening into the stream, if you are listening to my, well, bit of a, you know, just my voice, I don't know how to describe it, then do let me know what's going on. Let me know what's up. And let me know who you guys are cheering for, perhaps. And let me know who you'd rather see in the finals against Snoot. Do you want to see DnS versus Snoot for a ZVP? Or do you want to see souL against Snoot for that ZVT? Again, it is a non-mirrored matchup, finals at least, which is fantastic. Love it. Amazing. Cannot wait to see actually what it's going to be. Should be a pretty fun series either way. As we do get this set up and starting. Probe just going to be backing away right now, as we're going to be seeing the Nexus is on the way up on the natural expansion. Again, the setup and roll is going to be seeing the cybernetics core from DnS. And we are going to be seeing this probe continue to move along. I'm confused as to what Bella's trying to say. Like, the first job was the Widow Mines. The first Widow Mine job killed 22 workers. I don't know, I'm confused. Oh, I don't like doing numbery stuff in stream. It's scary. Might get it wrong. Probe coming through the top side here at the moment, as we do see a barracks on the way. So this is the second racks currently on the way up. A reactor building on this barracks at the front. And we are going to be seeing the command center dropping down on the natural expansion. Reaper from souL comes down towards the bottom right, but decides to turn back around after seeing the probe over here. It's actually really nice to be able to hunt down this probe and make sure it's not putting down a cheeky proxy pylon. You know, if he wants a proxy pylon, he's going to have to commit another probe onto the map. And the same thing, you know, at the same time from DnS, it does mean that he's going to be able to get the Stargate up without too much of an issue. And there does that go that probe. Goodbye, Mr. Probey. For so long and farewell. This Reaper now coming forwards. Finds the Adept, which is obviously able to come across the map pretty quickly because the Reaper wasn't over on this bottom right-hand side, so he didn't have to run around chasing that. Two Marines popping up. SCV gets in towards the main. And not much this Adept can do on the low ground, because there's not even SCVs being produced for the moment, because this command center is morphing into an orbital. So, as the command center morphs into an orbital, we are going to be seeing the Reaper just still checking out the main base. Hasn't actually seen the Stargate yet. It's kind of unfortunate because it's pretty much, there we go, finally sees it. So he does at least get a tech choice confirmation out of his opponent right there. As we are going to see these few Marines just pushing on forwards and looking to get some little bit of damage done. We got a board chicken man right here, shouting out for souL at the moment, looking to see if souL can take this game too and move to the finals, of course, against Snoot in the best of 5. Adept on its way down towards the bottom right-hand side at the moment. Widow Mine on the way up, Starport finishing. 2 more gateways are currently building. And again, that warp gate is about 75% of the way done. As we do see just a couple of Adepts just going to be gathering together. Oracle is on its way back towards the upper left-hand side, and as it moves in towards the main base, Widow Mines are here. They are positioned. And they are ready to blow up. They're in a very cheeky position. One right under these SCV's mines. It's very difficult to see. One over there as well. They're very difficult to see. You know, especially as the pros play, you know, you see this, you're going to be looking for those little black dots. But how do you see that when the SCV is blocking it? It's insane. There is a Widow Mine there, I promise you. Oh no, it's not. It's moved. Well, never mind. It was there before. I'm a liar. The Widow Mine's actually loaded up to go into medevac, and he's going to drop across the map. So, looking to apply some early-ish pressure here in the game and just see what can happen. Medevac will boost along. Over to the right-hand side, as you do see the Oracle coming in, drops down a Revelation on a group of Marines. And we will see this SCV gets picked off there in the end. Second SCV getting picked off too. So you've seen the missile turret starts on up, so Getting that ready to roll here as you're going to be seeing Widow Mines dropping behind this mineral line. A few Marines unloading as well. A little bit of up and down action as the Widow Mine's going to go off. Ooh, hits the middle of the Protoss units. And it gets away with the both Widow Mines alive. That's really nice. Could drop here for a probe kill or two, but looks as though they've mostly been pulled away. DnS keeping them safe for the moment. And 2 Oracles still just moving around towards the right side of things here. +1 attack and the blink upgrade currently coming through from DnS. And as you are going to see that medevac just sat on the far right side of your screen at the moment. These 2 Oracles hopping in towards the main base, drops the Revelation down on top of a few of those Marines. Medevac's going to boost on in towards this back of the main base as well. Marine's going to be stimming and already Stalker going down. He's going to be seeing this pylon here in a little bit of trouble as well. Widowmine will go off into the center of those units once more. And another lift up, another back away with those medevacs. He's out of there. At the same time, Widowmines and Marines unloading over on this right-hand side, and we are going to be seeing these couple of Oracles getting a bit more damage done. Forge being chrono boosted, Twilight Council being chrono boosted as well. Still just keeping the pressure up, forcing Oracles to use their energy and then lifting back up. It's really quite awesome to see, because the less energy those Oracles have, the less they can get done. You see Marines still stimming on over, chasing down the Stalkers. Gets one of them, going for a second. Has to lift up and try and get out of there. 2 more medevacs showing up at the moment. And Widowmine is going to go off for another Stalker kill. Hits the sentry as well. Man, souL just seems to be killing everything possible right now. It's really kind of crazy how much he's getting out of this time and time again. Really insane. As we continue to just watch away here. And souL's army in the middle of the map. A couple of Oracles heading towards the upper left-hand side, but he will miss the main army, which means he won't hit the Revelation, which is the most probable thing that he actually wants at the moment. So DnS is really just lacking tech as well, by the way. He's just on kind of gateway units, and he doesn't even have charge right now. That's how much he's been slowed down from this consistent pressure. As souL coming around the right side, he will be seen by this pylon. And I imagine he's going to commit in towards this base and see what he can do. DnS is so out of position, he didn't see the army because the pylon was still building, of course. Has actually had limited vision range. souL doesn't really commit here. He will come up, he will just make sure he can kill this pylon in the end. And well, DnS in the end doesn't lose too much, but it's again just a little bit of damage taken. Couple of workers having to pull away from the mining again. 4 more Stalkers currently warping in. Oracle drops a nice Revelation on top of that army here. More Stalkers are coming around the right side. A couple of Liberators out of souL. Going to be coming on over as well. There's a stim forwards here. DnS is, well, going to be pulling back. Doesn't really feel as though he can fight this right now. Kind of agree, especially if the Liberators here makes it very difficult for him to fight this properly. Liberators do kind of stop DnS from coming forwards into this position as well. So do the Widowmines. In general, it's a tough spot. There is Blink, there is Charge now. See, first Widowmine lifted up. The second Widowmine will go down. Stalkers take a little bit of damage. And cleaning out the Widowmines is really nice as the Zealots will charge in, and that's the point at which souL has to get out of there. There's a lot of potential for him up until now with the, you know, the Widowmines, the Liberators. But as they go down, it really is kind of disappearing. Nice Widowmine shot though, cleans out the Zealots, which only just got charged as well. It was that lack of charge which also helped out up until this stage. Two Oracles still moving out into the center. 4th command center on the way up to the top side of the map. Stalkers pushing forwards here. We'll find a couple of medevacs. Finds 3 medevacs. Widowmines are burrowed as well, by the way. No, they're not actually. The Widowmines went down, or maybe they just weren't here to begin with. souL is pushed back once again as DnS will knock down these rocks. Maybe stop souL from pushing forwards for a little while. As DnS, I don't think, is too eager to actually take a fight, especially with Liberators up. His position gets better as he waits, because he's got this Temple Archives coming up right now. That's about to complete. No, he's got, progress to be made right now as the Oracles dropping down a Revelation, hitting a lot of those Marines and Marauders at the moment. It's very nicely done. Fusion Core is going to be finishing up as well. And that does allow for potentially Liberator range to start coming into play here very shortly. Liberator range, a very useful upgrade. You get a lot done, of course. As you are going to be seeing advanced ballistics on the way up right now from souL. So getting into that lib range, so much. Couple of Oracles here again, hitting the Revelation. DnS is doing a great job of the Revelation throughout this game, consistently keeping himself up to date with where that Protoss, where that Terran army, sorry, is moving around. Units just gathering up in the main, as you do see a couple of medevacs down the left side, a couple of oracles into the main base as well. I'm just going to be seeing these liberators gathering up together as well. Good amount of bio here. Just going to be seeing this first pylon going to get picked away at. It will go down, so first pylon has fallen. Again, these medevacs just unloading a few units at the moment, so getting ready to kind of multi-prong this, and it's definitely the multi-prong which has done a lot for souL up until this stage. Zealot's actually going to find this drop. They don't want to fight that though. There's a few too many units here, but there is Stalkers in this mineral line as well. DnS, well, he says multi-prong, no problem. I can split my units. I know how to play Protoss. 5th base now on the way up from souL. 2-2 upgrades on the way from souL as well. No +2 attack right now from DnS. Chrono boosting it now, so upgrades are, you know, it's not a massive lead for the Protoss player like we might usually see. The Void of Mine dodged by DnS, whether by, you know, intentions or by fortune. That's obviously great for him. He is, again, the Terran player continuing to out-expand the Protoss. A 5th base already on the way up. That's maybe why DnS wants to get something done here, but with lib range, what do? You need a good amount of Stalkers to fight ranged liberators. And right now, 6 libs, it's on the kind of tipping point of just being too many to ever fight with Stalkers alone. I'm surprised we see a Robobay in a second facility. I was much more expecting, yeah, the Stargate and the Fleet Beacon. Yes, DnS just goes into all of it at the same time. The Stargate and the Fleet Beacon really allows him to come on in and, you know, make those Tempests, which are going to actually be really amazing as we see those first Zealots walking forwards. Main army's actually over here, though. The Sensor Tower's giving good vision to souL as he's able to just get in position time and time again and consistently deny the Protoss player from pushing into location and to really abuse the fact that he can pull the Terran player out of position otherwise. The Sensor Towers are really great. It's actually crazy that after so many years we're finally seeing Sensor Towers used consistently. And like time and time again. Love this Liberator, by the way, because that's very difficult and annoying to deal with at this stage of the game. And it does kind of force a lot of probes away as we see Ghosts come in. They're hitting the EMP on a lot of the High Templar, actually. The High Templar have no energy left. Well, that's insane. In fact, that's huge right now as we do see this Liberator will kill off the Stalker. No, not quite. Stalker just about survives. As we are going to be seeing these Liberators of souL going to continue pushing forwards. He is going to come in. He is going to get one of these Oracles low. It will go down. Both Oracles fall. Another EMP or two. Remember, there's only one Storm available. It goes down on the Liberators. He can't really pressure forwards from there, though. Those High Templar are still trying to get more energy. souL has taken some good fights so far. Remember, he's a game up in this series. He could do with some more medevacs, and he is starting to build those. Tempests on the way from DnS. They cannot come soon enough. He needs an answer to these Liberators, and right now he just doesn't quite have it. Liberators are damaged here, but they didn't go down, and that's the issue as the Liberators stack up in numbers. It becomes very problematic. Man, those two medevacs are so low. The fact they did come back along, I think they were the dropping medevacs. They've come back over now. Healing this bio army up after it was very bruised. The only thing I would say is maybe repair up some of these libs, because there is a few of them. Observer here does see what's going on. He will see these Ghosts pushing forwards. The Ghost just going to YOLO in for the big EMP. Hits all of the Immortals. That's a huge EMP, actually, on the Immortals, of course. Sends one of these Liberators around the side. Keeps up the pressure. His 5th base is up. 6th base building. 7th base building from souL. He's looking to overtake the map right now. As DnS is just now thinking about the 5th base. souL expanding everywhere, though. Honestly, I kind of like it because it's going to be difficult for the Protoss to deny all of those bases. And oh dear, the Protoss player is out of position. DnS, he is not in location to really fix this right now. First Storm is good at least. That's something, but this 3rd base is in a lot of trouble now. And how do you get back to it? Well, you recall, apparently. That is the answer. Liberators have repositioned their siege zones, though, and that's going to help a lot as well. Disruptors, no! souL! A disastrous moment as he runs in 2 Disruptor shots and a Storm. That changes everything. He will deny the 5th base, but boy, that was not how it was meant to be. The High Templar go down to the Ghosts, though. At the same time, that's also not how this is meant to go, and this is a little bit messy for both players at the moment. Another Disruptor shot misses its marker. Pylon goes down. DnS hits the supply block. Another Disruptor misses its mark, but it's these Tempests, which right now souL doesn't have an answer to. I like that, though. Drop into the main base. Oh, High Templar. Well, what are you going to do? Feed back these medevacs that have no energy anyways? And this could be a lot of damage done right now. Fleet Beacon already under fire. The Liberator is sieging up. I mean, the Tempests are going to go at it from the left-hand side. But this Nexus is going to fall. As the Nexus goes down, what else can you kill here? Maybe the Robo Facility? Gets the Pylon, just empowers a bunch of stuff. That's nice as well, because at the end of the day, he actually is able to lift up, and he gets out of here with one of the full medevacs going down. And he actually just drops back onto this base. If he can kill this base, that would be fantastic. Or even just the High Templar, which he's chasing for right now. Stalkers are blinking all over the place to clean this up, and eventually it is cleaned up. DnS holds with a huge army supply lead, 60 army supply advantage, but there's actually going to be a Terran player upgrade lead. 3-3 against 3-2. He's also going to be having Liberators to sit defensively with. He's got a few Vikings to push the Tempest back. He's got Ghost back up at home. souL is trailing in army, but he has 13 more workers plus mules. He has one hell of an income. He has a gold base top right setting up. He has bottom left base ready to go. souL has the economy. If he can hold this attack, he's still looking good. DnS, though, definitely has potential right now. Liberator Siege a little bit slow to siege, though. This is where those Tempers are going to become very important, of course. As DMP hits a couple of these Disruptors. High Templar are sitting way in the back at the moment. As time passes by, though, army supplies are rising up. The more EMPs that come down, the better it's going to be. This is bad for DnS. Look how much goes down. There's the Storm finally coming in, and souL actually had a bit of a move command there. He's dropping a nuke on the bottom right-hand side. High Templars and Probes here. They do pull away. Everything will survive. There's a mass warping of Stalkers back at home, as DnS will survive for the moment. Honestly, these goes for this High Templar. This is really amazing. He's going to get the second High Templar just before the cloak comes off. That Ghost is going down in 3-2. Oh my god, he's going to survive because the Stalkers are just moving across the map. The Ghost can just sit here and kill more Probes, or just get out of there and wait for energy to come back to cloak up once again. Nice nuke. Did a lot there. Denied mining time, and well, now souL again is a distraction as well, which buys him time to set up into now a maxed out army. Plus souL has a bank going because he had those extra workers all this time. First DMP is good once more. Disruptors looking for something, but Liberators just keep pressing further forwards. I mean, DnS still trying to come into this one position here. There's the Tempest. Oh, here come the Ghosts, though. Ooh, they don't actually hit anything. Recall back home, because there's a drop across the map, killing a lot of workers. Lifts up, gets out of there, but the Blink should be good enough to kill one of these. But oh, no way, he doesn't get the medevac. Wow, that's kind of crazy. He's actually going to start unloading, though. This is time for souL to move across the map, however, and he's moving towards the right-hand side. And look how far out of position he's dragging the Protoss player. He has a planetary fortress to buy a little bit of time here as well. And souL, and DnS is like, cool, I'm going to kill this. But he's going to lose this right-hand side base. He might even lose this base. And both of those bases are huge for him right now. It's a big stim. Recall is on cooldown. I'm surprised souL just didn't throw himself into the middle of these bases, kill this one, then pull back towards this one as he escapes out to the top side of the map. There's no way DnS holds this, and he very much so knows that. He's just pulled his probes away right from the get-go, and wow. DnS, heavy supply block too. He's actually just going to be sat on, what, 140-ish supply of pylons? 150 in the end. 4 pylons start up. Desperation moves from DnS in that moment. He's running out of money. This fourth base here, he's got some life left on it in fairness, but it really is all the bases that have life on it. These gases are mining out. In fact, he doesn't have any gas in the main or natural now. He actually has gas in the main, but there's no nexus there. So DnS is really just on very limited income. He might catch some units right now as souL makes his way back up to the top side of the map. 19 minutes in, that's going to be a stim. That's going to be a fight onto those Stalkers, which are choked up now. Disrupted by some time for the Stalkers to get away. Another Disruptor coming forwards. Has to be cautious with those liberation zones, though. Can't go too far forwards. souL still has the top right base to mine from if he wants it. He's making 7 Liberators at a time. He's adding on COVID reactors, so we might see a Raven switch here as well in the later stages. Tempest get a couple of shots off. Disruptors! We're looking good for a moment, but in the end it's just a Marauder and a Marine, and the Disruptors go down. Another Disruptor gets us another single Marauder, but chasing forwards, another Disruptor will end up going down here. Ghost actually adding some damage onto the Tempest. We are going to see those Tempests actually maybe in some trouble as these Vikings get a shot or two off. +2 attack in the skies for souL. And it's just +1 air weapons for the Protoss player. Coming off to the right-hand side, a single medevac can do so much at this stage, because what is left behind? Well, actually 4 High Templar in the natural. That's a lot of potential damage output with the Storms here. Maybe there's some opportunity right now as we see this medevac. Well, it's going to get shut down by these Stalkers if souL doesn't start to unload. Looks as though he's distracted with the main fight still. souL's still trailing an army supply, but he has such a large bank to rebuild with as we see those Vikings looking for a Tempest. Doesn't find it though, and he costs him a few Vikings as Stalkers blink forwards. DnS is making his way over to the left-hand side here. As he makes his way over to the left, souL doesn't have the position for defense, and he might actually lose his 5th base. He does have that gold base to mine from, but if he loses all the SCVs, that's obviously going to be fairly costly here. souL has to try and figure out how he wants to push into this, but at the end of the day, he might just not. Nuke comes down in this bottom right base once again. Now it's DnS who has this base over here, denied by a Liberator. Bottom left-hand side being taken by a Nexus as well of the Protoss. Base is still coming up. This nuke will land. Will not land on anything in particular, just a couple of probes here. And that Ghost may want to just target down a few probes at the moment. Disruptor shots, grabbing the edge of the army. Again, the Ghost EMPs are consistently very good here, consistently bringing a lot of these shields away from the Protoss army. Liberators sieging up once more on the left-hand side, pushing themselves forwards, looking to try and get DNS in this position where he's just forced into a fight, but there's so much maneuverability here on Dreamcatcher. It's very difficult to force a fight as the Tempest, 1 Liberator and 2. Thank you very much, says DNS, needed that. Vikings taking some shots as well, a couple more shots coming through. Marines down to the south side, as we are going to be seeing Tempest coming back up to the top. A few Ghosts set up right now. Bottom right hand side, just a very small drop as well. Going to get cleaned up by Stalkers. souL's going to lose another base. He's just moving across the map though. In this scenario, recall available once again, and it might just be a recall from DNS to get home in time to save another Nexus. Won't be the bottom left, but it will be this base that's mining. At the same time, I don't think DNS knows that souL has the top right hand side. I think he's expecting it, and that's why he's starting to open his up. But it planting forward the missile turret. For now, he's okay, and that disruptor goes down because those Liberators were just in range. Ghost taking some damage here. EMPs on the Tempest. Man, those Tempests, they're taking a lot of hull damage, and as the EMPs keep coming down, it means that time and time again, they're just getting lower and lower. Single disruptor shot gonna hit very well. Big Storm hits Vikings and ground units alike. You just can't quite find the position here, so to really capitalize. The one thing is, though, that DNS really is running out of money now, and as he has been able to reinforce here and there as time goes by, he is running out of those options now as we see the Tempest starting to fall to the Vikings. The Vikings, oh my god, those Tempests are 7 HP and 3 HP. How do you let that live? Single souL causing some chaos over here, and Adept behind the mineral line killed by SCVs. Liberator siege up again. Now it's just one Tempest that remains. This base can't mine anymore because the Terran has forced himself onto this position. Disruptors don't even get the single Marauder. The few Vikings trying to stay in the front, and this late game army control from souL has been absolutely stellar, because anything less and he would have lost this a long time ago. But he is stuck in this. He's taking fight after fight. We're now in a position where it's 40 workers apiece, and both of these guys are giving us one hell of a game number 2 here in GO4SC2 Sunday. I had to remind myself just what tournament we're in right now. With so many tournaments going on recently. This Ghost should turn around and at least drop an EMP before he dies to these Stalkers. Do it, Ghost! No, I believe in you! He does turn and drop the EMP, and he actually survives as well. Liberator, and that's what obviously souL has to be so cautious of. Top right hand side, Zalds are going up against the Planetary Fortress, but the Planetary will survive this, and the SCVs, they just go straight back to mining once again, back to repairing just to make sure. In general though, this is still looking good for souL. DNS's supply is waning fast, as we're going to be seeing the disruptor shot is the one thing that's really maybe the most scary at the moment. DNS gets this forward central base. I don't think I've ever seen this Nexus being taken in the center of the map in my life on Dreamcatcher. That's crazy. I know Dreamcatcher is relatively new, but that's still saying something. We've seen quite a few games of Dreamcatcher now. This one is getting crazy. Bio, Vikings, Ghosts, all gathered to the left-hand side here. Nice little Tempest shot to begin with. The Disruptor gets a couple Marauders. The Disruptor doesn't do too much right away. Oh, Disruptor takes a couple of shots. EMP goes down in the couple of Immortals. A couple of Immortals taking some damage right there. Again, some High Templar still just sat off to the right side, and we are still going to be seeing one Observer goes down with that scan. Disruptor grabs 3 Ghosts. That's sort of connection that DNS needs right now. The final Tempest of the game goes down, though. DNS did not have the income to replace that Tempest. No way, not a hope in hell. souL is going to get Planetary Fortress up right here. There's a few units again set up, a High Templar with the Storm, as well as a couple more Zealots. Really wants to deny these gold bases, but he just can't commit much more of his army, because if he does, souL just comes rampaging along to shut things down. DNS has not started a new Nexus. He's completely all in with the army that he has right here. As you see, the first disrupted shot leading the charge. It doesn't connect on anything just yet. Death peels away to the left-hand side. Going to see EMP into the center of those units once again. Storm on the mineral line. A few SCVs going down. Planetary Fortress getting some damage done. Disruptors, oh man, getting chased away once again right now. And these Disruptors are going to go down because they're still at the front of the army. Storms preemptive here don't actually do enough. And this one man in base of DNS, well, I mean, this bottom right side base is getting taken down. If Liberators siege up on this base, which they're starting to do, DNS is already starting to say goodbye to his gas mining here, it seems. And as he says goodbye to his gas mining, the mineral workers pull away as well. Another disruptor shot buys time as we're 26 minutes into game number 2. It's still souL in control of this though. And with a 1-0 lead in the series, it looks like we have a TVZ finals on our way. souL against Snoot will be the matchup. What a matchup that'll be, as we do have these units of DnS coming all the way up to the top side now. Marines killing off the Nexus on the south. We do see Stalkers just going to go committing in towards the base. I mean, there must be a recall available, right? I mean, that must be the plan of DnS here. The Liberator sieging up, and what do you do? Recall during the Liberator sieges? That's not going to be pretty. Disruptor shots have already gone off for the most part here. Storm's going down, but the Terrorblade just commits on forwards. The Immortals disappear. Now it's just Stalkers. That's the GG. souL gets it in the end. 26 minutes of absolutely impeccable StarCraft 2. Cannot fault either player for giving us one